welcome back to Capitol Hill. I'm your host, Adam Preston, with Brandon Cooper, the lead editor at Breitbart News. Brandon, it's good to have you on the program.
Thanks for having me.
So we are just wrapping up the 2016 election. Republicans have taken back the White House. You got to be happy about that, right?
Overall, yes. I mean, pretty resounding victory for Macmillan over Clinton, and Clinton presidency would be a deathbed for us, but there's tons of potential now heading into a Republican-controlled government.
Looking at it from the other point of view, there are people that, the voters out there, some of them are worried about the Macmillan presidency. Do you sympathize with that point of view, or think that they're just full of it?
I think it depends on the willingness of the leadership in both parties to try and meet themselves in a middle ground. Macmillan wasn't the most far right of candidates the entire way through, but at the same time, is he really pleasing his base? He's walking a fine line with the balance in this country right now, but he seems willing to at least work with Democratic leadership. So I think there's reason to be hopeful on all sides.
That's quite true, but, we're looking at this new session of Congress coming up. Democratic leadership don't really have a lot of influence on Capitol Hill now. Republicans control the House, they control the Senate, now they control the White House. What do you see, have you heard any rumors about, one, who the Republican leadership will be, and two, their potential agenda for the upcoming session?
Well, see, this is where you get into the line of me as a person in the media who cheers for my own interests and what the party's doing. Because, you go back to the convention with Macmillan's speech, one thing that he stressed that, displeased a lot of Republicans is the talk about working on DACA and getting a DACA fix in place, which is something, regardless of whoever is in Democratic leadership is going to want to be working on. It's just, how is that going to please, the rest of the Republican base? And not everyone in Congress is going to get along with that sort of thing. So it's up in the air, but I think they're probably going to be working on that in the first 100 days.
Certainly. What else do you know that they're thinking about? I guess you don't really know, but rumors. I've heard some talk about tackling Obamacare again, trying to quote unquote fix it. Do you see any headway on that?
This is definitely obviously the best opportunity to repeal Obamacare. They've tried to pass it so many times under President Barack Obama, almost not really being serious about it, knowing that there's a president that's just going to veto it, but it really just is going to force them to be serious about what they're working on with the president that will sign a bill that, they put on his desk. So it's something they're going to strive after, but I think you're going to need to see someone in leadership really take on this project, and you're going to have to work across lines on it as well, because there's still a lot of people that like a ton of provisions in Obamacare, and they don't want to see those go.
Certainly. In this new upcoming session of Congress, we're seeing, obviously Speaker Ryan is retiring. We don't have word yet of who's going to be the new Speaker of the House, but what's your gut tell you? Do you think it's going to be another, centrist in a Ryan model, or someone a little bit more right-leaning?
It's really hard to tell at the moment, because it is kind of to the preference of what Macmillan and Fitzgerald want. They are the face of the party at the moment, and they don't want anyone that's going to go against them at the end of the day. So it's just going to be based around that, I believe.
Sure. Do you think that the White House will be, hands-on in congressional leadership elections, or will they kind of, from what you're saying, it sounds like they have a vested interest at least?
I think they have to a degree, because, you want to show unity now as a unified front of a Republican-controlled government. Any sort of faltering in the media these days will receive so much criticism. Anywhere where you split as a party, that's just the partisan nature of this country at the moment. you need to look unified.
Well, Brandon, that is about all the time that we have today. Let's go ahead and give you an opportunity for a parting shot.
Yeah, in a parting shot, I just want to stress something to, I guess, the president, the vice president, anyone that, cares about conservative politics, and that is we can't afford DACA being legalized. 100% of these people that would receive DACA would be a vote for the Democratic Party. In states like my home state, that's hundreds of thousands of votes that you'd just be handing over. We can't compromise on amnesty. It didn't work with Reagan. We can't do it again. And we shouldn't fall for these things when we control all houses of the government.
Thank you very much. Mr. Brandon Cooper, it was a pleasure to talk to you. Look forward to your upcoming content on Breitbart News.
Thank you for having me.
For those of you listening at home, Capitol Hill is a free government simulation. Come check us out at TedderVision.com/Capitol Hill. And that does it for us here. We'll see you next time.